Namaste, yogis. Welcome to your practice. I'm Carter, and today we're going to be doing a practice that supports the wrists. So if you have any wrist issues, this practice is for you. Let's get to our mat. All right, yogis, let's come into table pose. So bring the knees underneath the hips, spread your fingertips nice and wide. And from here, we're gonna just draw forward so the weight comes to the fingers and back. And we're gonna do that a few times. So we're just kind of warming up the wrists. And I broke my right wrist a couple times, and so at certain days it becomes a little bit more sensitive. I want to make sure that if you're like me, that we do things that can support our practice without injuring our wrists more. All right, come back to center, rotate your hands out so your fingertips are facing the long edge of your mat. We're gonna go side to side. And so when I do this, I have a lot of range of motion in my left wrist, not so much on the right, and we're not trying to fix anything, we're just trying to figure out where our range of motion is, and my right wrist is a little sensitive today. All right, rotate your hands so your fingertips are facing your knees, and you're gonna go forward and back. So you may start to feel this in the forearms, and if you're flexible enough, you can go back enough where the palms come off the ground. But again, I don't necessarily need you to fix anything. We're just gonna do that a few times. And then we're gonna rotate the hands forward. And we're gonna put the pressure on the right hand, and we're gonna press the top of the, left hand. We'll press the right top of the right hand into the ground, and we can just kind of roll it around there, and then we'll switch. And then let's come to an easy seated pose. So let's take the right shin in front of the left shin, or it can be right shin on top of left shin if you feel like you need a little bit of a hip opener. We're just gonna still continue to take care of the wrist. So take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and you're gonna squeeze it as if you're trying to create space between the hand and the wrist. And they're gonna move that around. Again, we're just taking inventory. And for me, when I'm having some of these rough days, I wrap my wrist as well. So that's always a good idea to wrap it. Let's massage the part underneath the hand, or underneath the pinky finger, and all the way up to the finger there. And then we're going to go down each one of the fingers, and we're just going to press all the way to the tips. And then we're going to go to the thumb, and we're going to see if we can create a little bit of space between the thumb and the index finger. And there's this big muscle underneath the thumb. You can massage that. And then you're going to grab those fingertips, and you're gonna press your palm forward. So fingertips down, palm presses forward, and a little twist towards the pinky finger. And then you can release one of those fingers at a time, and then give that hand a little shake, roll that wrist. And then let's do the other side. So left hand grabs that right wrist, squeeze it a bit. And we do so much work with the hands in practice, downward dogs, table poses, plank poses, and it can be quite challenging if the wrist is bothering you. So we're gonna give you some modifications today. So let's massage right underneath the pinky finger, all the way up to the finger itself, and you can even try to give it a crack. All the way up to that ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and we're gonna try to create a little bit of space between the thumb and the index finger. There's this little space with all this flesh there. You can kind of massage that into that muscle underneath the thumb. And then we're gonna grab those fingertips down, palm forward, little rotation towards the pinky finger. Release each finger at a time. And then we're gonna shake out that right hand, roll that wrist, and give them a shake. And take the hands into prayer. We're going to lift the elbows up, and we're going to lift them up higher, higher, and higher. We're going to press into the fingertips, and we're going to rotate the hands forward as far as you can go. and then towards the chest. And you can do that a couple times. Fingertips down, press the backs of the hands together. Now we lower the elbows, and then same thing, we're going to move those fingers forward and back. And then shake that out. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Squeeze shoulder blades, straighten elbows. Let's draw that right ear towards the right shoulder. Chin up, chin down. Roll the head back, squeeze shoulder blades together. Head left and right. If we're focusing on wrists today, if you can get your elbows straight, you can try to bring the wrists together so they touch. It's not necessary, but available. Left ear, left shoulder, chin up, chin down. Drop the chin towards the chest. Head back and forth. Circles. And then a little bit forward as we start to dive a little bit into the hips. All right. Unwind those fingers. Again, shake the hands. So let's talk about the hands on the floor. So you could, for a lot of us, we're rooting into this base part of the hand, and the fingers become very soft, and so we're pushing into the wrists. So if you open up your hands a little bit wider, and you press through those parts of right underneath where the fingers are, and you grip the floor with the fingertips, it activates the muscles around the wrists. Now, this is not easy. And if you're pushing into each one of those spots underneath the fingers and the fingertips, it starts to ignite the muscles and supports the wrist. And again, this is not an easy thing to do. That's why most of us are just kind of like weak with the hands and pressing in. So in this pose, as we come forward, there's not a lot of weight on the hands, so we can start to practice by squeezing the fingertips down and pushing the palms into the ground. And this is work for sure. But if you do this, if you're practicing every day, and you're doing this every day as you practice, within a week or so, you'll start to feel the support of the wrists. Now, if you're like me and have an injury, that may be a little bit different, where you have to continually support the wrists. All right, inhale, come on up. Take the hands behind you, lean back, unfold your legs, give them a little shake. Little internal rotation of the legs, big toes touch. We're going to draw forward. Now we're going to give our wrists a chance to rest, and while you're here, you can always give the wrists a little massage as well. And I find the more attention that I give to my wrists, the quicker they heal up. So if I just dive right into practice and just assume my wrists are okay, and I start practicing and starts to become a little bit sore, then I got to go back to practice. So allowing ourselves the time before we start to do our full body practice to take care of the wrists, it does help us tremendously. One more breath here. And then inhale, come on up. Cross your left shin in front of your right shin. Reach your arms up, wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists. Elbows draw back, hands and elbows draw up and down. Hands and elbows together. Press the palms and elbows together, up and down here. And then again, we're going to do a little bit for the wrists, so just lift the elbows up, prayer. Fingers forward and back. Forearms, elbows together, lift up the elbows. Shoulders down. Pendulum the hands left and right, finding range of motion of the shoulders now. Inhale, open up the arms. Swivel the palms down, slow and smooth. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Let's think about opposite thumb on top. Squeeze shoulder blades, straighten elbows, circles with the head. Forward and down here. Little twist left and right. This practice can be a prelude for any of your practices, making sure the wrists are warm. And we're just doing a little bit of hip openers as well. Tuck the chin, unwind the fingers. Again, you can come onto your fingertips. That supports the wrists as well. It's a little bit harder when you have more weight on it, but for this pose, we don't have a lot of weight on the hands, so to the fingertips is okay. Again, if you root into the palms, think about pressing again, that part right underneath where the fingers meet the palms, pressing that into the ground and then gripping the mat with the fingertips. As you draw the hips forward and down, a little bit of movement. As you draw the torso forward and down, a little bit of movement. Inhale, slowly come on up. Hands to knees, lengthen through the torso. Give yourself a moment here. Again, this is the part of practice where you can actually do this before any practice. So you can take this practice and then you can stack it onto another practice as we start to move. Hope that helps. Namaste. Nice work, yogis. I hope your wrists feel good. And if you have any other body part that you want to address through practice, leave it in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and if you want to see more of these practices that are a little bit longer, go to my yogawithcarter.com website and you can get a 14-day trial for free for my recorded class vault. Take care of yourself. Keep up the good work. Peace.